Now, is South Africa raising a generation of fatherless children? That is the question of the day, and it comes after the release of the 2017 report, which presents information on recorded live births in the country, showing that South Africa is one of the highest rates of absent fathers in sub-Saharan Africa. Of the nearly 900,000 registered birth occurrences in 2017, 62% were without the details of the fathers. Well, Risenga Maluleka is South Africa's Statistician-General and joins us now from our Pretoria studios. Good evening to you and thank you for your time. I mean, let's first start with that number. Nearly 1 million babies born in South Africa last year.
Well, good evening, Bongane, and again, good evening to the viewers. What happens is 2017 has seen a registration of births, 989,000 and about 318 registrations as harvested from the Department of Home Affairs. Now, these registrations do not necessarily mean the number of live births in 2017. About 91,356 were late registrations. So we are actually slightly lower in terms of those that were born and registered within 30 days of their birth in 2017, but certainly closer to about 1 million.
The number of unregistered births, I notice, is dropping, but it's still fairly significant in terms of the figures that are coming out as you've just outlined.
It has actually dropped quite significantly. If you look at where we were in 1997, there were about 78% of those that were late registrations. Now, as we are seated in 2017, of which we are talking of the report now, about 91,000, as I've indicated, are those that are late registrations, only accounting for 9%. So there has been a significant drop over a period of 20 years.
I think one of the stats that obviously will jump out at many people is this idea that 62% of births that have been registered have no information on the fathers.
Certainly, we have picked up that percent of the registered births in 2017 that didn't have information on the fathers account for slightly more than 554,000 children that were registered. Now, certainly it is as such, but this report that we have just compiled also takes its cue from other reports, and this is it stands alone as a report of harvested information from the Department of Home Affairs. But we also have a report that we released earlier on that was looking of children 0 to 6 years of age, which indicated a number of children that didn't have their fathers available in their upbringing. While the Home Affairs one that we are talking about now only talks of information that is not there on the records of Home Affairs, it doesn't necessarily say that the fathers are absent. But when we go back to that report that we had earlier on in the year, then the two reports combined can show a different story altogether.
Would you say that there's a trend in a particular direction when it comes to fathers not being registered at birth?
Well, the trend is there. One is what we are picking up from the returns from Home Affairs. The second issue, as I've indicated, is the report that we have picked up at the beginning of the year, which was a combination of surveys that we had conducted previously. But there is another survey that indicated that 60% of the fathers say they are married to 33% of the mothers in South Africa. Now, you don't have polyandry in South Africa. And because you don't have polyandry, at least I know polygamy is allowed in our laws. Then it shows that you have a number of fathers that are not available in the upbringing of their children.
All right, I do want to ask you one worrying statistic, the statistic around young mothers, particularly those between the ages of 10 years old and 14. What are you seeing there in terms of the trends?
Young mothers come in two groups. The first one are those aged 15 to 19. Those ones 15 to 19 have dropped a bit by 3 percentage points from 13% in 2016 to 11%, actually 2 percentage points to 11% in 2017. But those ones that are aged 10 and to 14, they account for 0.1 of a percentage point of the number of children that were registered in 2017, and for slightly more than 130,000 births that have occurred.
All right, we'll have to...
Not 130,000 births, my apologies, for 1,303 births that have occurred in 2017.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. We thank you for your time and for giving us the breakdown on those numbers. Of course, that was Risenga Maluleka, the Statistician-General in South Africa, talking to us from our Pretoria studios. Now, of course, we've been asking you a question of the day, and it really is South Africa raising a fatherless generation? We've been asking you to send us your voice notes. Remember, of course, you can engage with us on Twitter. The hashtag, as always, is FullView. You are weighing in on this conversation. We'll be playing those voice notes throughout the show because, of course, as you've just heard there, one of the statistics that we are hearing, 62% of registered births do not have the details of the fathers.